might already saw these little icons, the two stars. You will find that more and more often in the newer versions of Business Central, where on certain fields, when you click on it, it will come up with a suggestion. Sometimes it's a calculation, sometimes it's a simple suggestion based on other data in the system, and from there it will help the user on a very small scale to come up with these type of values. In this case, you can always override it, but it's at least could be a good helper there. Very small example. Now then there is the data analysis already for I think a couple of releases ago, 2 years ago or something. This started in Business Central to have basically kind of a Excel pivot kind of table structure. But the cool thing now is that they added Copilot with it. So you can actually ask, for instance, in this case, at the due date instead of that and that date, plus do it not by quarter, but by year. And it will actually change that whole look and feel of that pivot. So you can ask, and it will show you the data how you would like to see it. That's pretty cool. Obviously, this is the starting point, and we'll see already in the latest versions and the new version coming up next month that new features like this and new enhancements will be included as well there. Now, coming more to the feature for specific roles examples, bank reconciliation. This is one of the things added in the last version, which is about drag and drop your bank statement of payments done, which will be matched in the system with all the payments which were created in the system. So in that way, it will auto match based on Copilot AI. In this case, already 75% of the lines. That means that you only have to check 25% of the lines yet. And that is an example where you can save time. You can also see this as an example that not always it will be that AI will fully take this type of job away from the user. And it's also something what you will see in the screenshot. It's a proposal to the user. So it's always that the user is in the loop to validate and check the results of in this case, the AI. So you will save time, but you will still be in the loop to make the final call, the final decision. And that principle of designing these AI features in Agriware later on is also how we foresee that. Another example, less AI, more machine learning kind of things. It's a feature called Predict Late Payments. And this is about that the system can predict which customers will pay late. And it does that based on previous payment patterns they shown in the past. So based on that, it will actually indicate a list of potential invoices which will be paid late, with also a chance calculation with that. So it's a confidence level that in this case it is medium confident about it that they will pay late. And for an account handler, account manager who has contact with your customers about these type of elements, it could be very beneficial to have these type of lists and just mention them on time. Hey guys, you think of paying these invoices not too late as like you did in the past. Then the first example of a actual agent, because what we saw so far are more hands-on features. Now an agent is, I would say, the next step. And that means that an agent can actually handle in between two users or two human beings. It's not per se that it needs to be like that, because it can also automate without, for instance, in this case, the customer. But in this case, you can see it's the customer, it's the agent, and it's the sales rep. And from there, you can see that in a process flow like this, a customer can ask for certain products to order. It asks for a certain shipment date, certain products, quantities, and so on. The agent will continuously monitor a mailbox, interpretates those emails like, hey, this is an order, or hey, this is a quote, which is requested by the customer. And it already digests all of that and proposed a sales order to the sales rep. So he or she can check and validate that. Plus, it also prepares an email back to the customer. It will not send it automatically, but it just prepares that with, hey, thank you for this order. I can see these products you have ordered. And you can right away send it, or you can make your changes in there and you will send that order out. And on that way, it is really that the most repetitive tasks, checking your emails, typing your emails and all of that, can be automated and can be supported basically by such an agent. In the next 1-minute video, you will see a bit of an example how that looks like, because this is already available functionality. I have to say in this case it is still in the preview mode, and also we have run some tests and there are some limits about this functionality. But we also know that next month, when the new Business Central release comes out, Microsoft comes with an update of this one, and we're really looking forward to all the improvements they made in there. Till now we were not able to test this yet. But what you see here on the right side, you see actual tasks for the user to validate, to confirm, or to review. You can see the email here on the left side already prepared. You do not have to leave Business Central. You just check it from there and can handle these requests from the customer. And that should save quite some time for the sales team, especially when you receive orders by email, obviously, to help there and support in the day-to-day tasks. I would say a very powerful example. On the payment side, on the purchase side, they did the same thing, but then to check with a so-called payable agent if incoming emails from your vendors, your suppliers, with a invoice in that, to check if those invoices are actually also in our system and if that vendor already exists in the system, so it can prepare and match the purchase orders against that, and also have an approval flow coming up and detect anomalies in there. So it prepares and helps the agent supervisor, the purchase invoice employee, to get his day-to-day job also more easier. And to give you an example how that looks like, it's something like this. For instance, when it's recognizing that the vendor is not in the system yet, it comes up with a question, hey, I cannot recognize this vendor, not by email, not by name, etc. Would you like me to create it? So also there, it's not only about the process, but also, for instance, in this case, the master data. If it does, it will create it. You can review it before it continues. You can add some extras on the vendor card, and then from there, the process will continue. So step by step, it supports the whole purchase invoicing side. Now, I hope these examples at least give you some ideas already of what we can do, how small we can make AI work and support users, and how large we can make that inside Business Central. I have to say, we are not only looking to Business Central, we're also looking for ideas and opportunities in our other products, like the mobile apps on the operation platform, and even in the analytics session or section, we are looking for new opportunities there. Now, I have to say and already mention a bit, some of the stuff you just saw are still in preview mode. Some are already production ready. So I have to, if you're interested in one of those, please beware of this. We aim that in the next month, more and more features will be added, but also more will go from preview to production ready. Also, what we saw is that not all scenarios, for instance, in the sales order agent, are supported in the previous version. Like recognizing variant codes, it was not able to do that. We know that in the new version that is coming up. And those are small but sometimes significant elements if you are able to use it or not out of the box. Also, region and version dependencies are important. So obviously the latest version of Business Central will be where these new functionalities are coming out. And the regions which are supported are not everywhere in the world. At least in Australia and New Zealand it is available. I have to check in Vietnam, China as well, because I'm not sure if those are available there. For the things we will develop from Agriware, will be less dependent on region there, because we will build that in-house and we have more freedom to determine where we will deploy these features. So that's a good thing there, and should not scare you off to not do anything, for instance, if things are not available yet. Now, a little bit of background, some challenges we already tackled in the last 6 months. We did a lot of testing, prototyping, proof of concepts, fine-tuning, etc. We even went into, the flaws we find in the sales order agents from Microsoft and figured out ways to do it better, which is a pretty cool thing. But for instance, things we need to be aware of is that consistency in data recognition is very important. Order comes in, and how will it be able to recognize pot sizes, plant heights, color codes? For instance, if an order comes in and a customer asks, I would like to order a blush colored aster product, it should interpret that as, oh, blush, that is kind of pink. I do have pink products in here, right? So on that way, we had to figure how to solve these type of property and feature code consistencies, but we tackled that. But another one which was very hard to tackle is more critical order requests from customers. I'm not sure how structured you guys will have orders from your customers, but we saw examples like, I would like to order 50x Hydro Bull 20-inch T6 times a P12. I mean, what can you think of this from an AI point of view, how to translate this? But even here, there are ways to give examples in the system, so it will recognize these type of patterns and also more cryptical language, human languages. And then there are specifics or maybe even customer slang used or slang which is more handled as terminology in the industry, like I would like to have shorties or young grafts. Some customers are ordering, I would like to have a P12 as a 12 centimeter pod. Others are saying just 12 centimeters, or others pod 12. Different ways for the same thing. And this is where we figured out how to tackle that customer specific slang. A very hard one we were not able yet to tackle. We will also not focus on that at the first start, are the more complex things, asking about the past, how simple that might sound. If an order comes in, customer asks, I would like to order the same as last week, but then pink. Well, if there were 10 orders, which one was it, right? So obviously there you can also start up a whole workflow, but these are the more complex things we currently say, no, that's not on our side. It's kind of hard at the current state to fulfill all of that, or it's just not worth to do an investment in there. So these are some examples there of limitation and challenges. We already tackled quite a few of.